Feminine, welcome to this message. Welcome back to this channel. Okay, so what I'm picking up right now, the message that I want to get across to you is that I feel like maybe the divine feminine that I'm speaking to, you have possibly been more in what you've been feeling like a masculine type of energy and more of like protection mode, protecting yourself and your peace. I feel like you've been having to be the strong one. So this may have just, you may have just flipped a switch with this. I believe that this is because you've met somebody, right, that is like a masculine, but I believe is more of a soul mate. Okay, this is not a twin soul. If you have not met yet, of course, this isn't going to resonate with everybody. Obviously, like all of my messages don't resonate for everybody, but this is for somebody specific that listens to my messages. You've met somebody or you're about to meet somebody, if you haven't, that is a soulmate connection. And you're going to know because it's a very comforting type of energy. So the word that comes to me with this person is comfortable. Your first date, it's going to be, I'm comfortable telling this person everything, being an open book, and they're non-judgmental. They're going to be very open to, I think, what you talk about as far as your spirituality goes. They're going to be open to this, but they are not on the same level as you spiritually. Okay, I do believe that this is a high value masculine energy. That is what I believe. I think that they have it together. They come in with strength. They do come in with integrity. They are all in all a genuine, authentic type of person, but they aren't there on that the same spiritual level you are. So they don't have the same type of spiritual experiences that you do. They may not fully believe in soulmates. They may have not believed in a soulmate until they actually have this connection with you. And this may turn this around to where they're like, no, I fully believe in soulmates because I can actually see this happening with the connection. There may be a couple little blockages. I think for you, it may be more of the spiritual piece to you because you kind of want somebody to understand you completely. And I think they're going to try though. So that's completely up to you. All right. If you can go along with this, if you can keep going forward with this person. Now, I am picking up that this is not your normal type. So if somebody comes and, if you haven't met this person yet, if somebody approaches you, a masculine energy approaches you, I would say, and you get those, as a divine feminine, you're going to get those vibes, right? Like, as a divine feminine, you either pick up the like healthy, healing, high value type of masculine vibes, or you're going to pick up that you're going to have to stay away from this person. I think that and so if you're feeling that when you're speaking to this person, if you have a conversation and if it's the good vibes, but they're not quite your normal, the normal that you go for, keep an open mind, all right? Because I really see there being a very strong high attraction to this masculine. Once you get to know them, once you talk to them, once you go out on a date with them, I really see you two connecting, and there is going to be like a lot of chemistry. And what I'm hearing as this is the best first date I've ever had, ever, like hands down, this is the best date I've ever had. And I think that you kind of feel this sense of comfort, just comfort. I'm so comfortable with you. And you weren't expecting this. And it's like, I don't know what I was expecting. That's what I'm getting. Like, I don't know what I was expecting with this masculine energy. But it surprises you is what I'm getting. You going out with this person surprises you because there's something about this person that is a little bit like out of tradition in a way. I don't think though that this is a twin. So anyways, moving on from that, I'm getting though that there's something, I'm hearing like somebody is stuck. Okay, somebody that you're connected to is stuck. This is somebody else, and that is why I think because they're stuck, you've said, I don't need this person. I think that this is your twin flame, and your twin flame is saying over here, I'm stuck, and I can't, I'm stuck. And that is why you've closed the door on the situation and you've closed the chapter, because you said, well, I'm not stuck. I'm worked through being stuck. I'm past this energy. I want to move on from this energy. And that is why this soulmate came in, because you closed the chapter on somebody who is not coming into the physical. Honestly, Divine Feminine, God doesn't want you in a situation where you're longing for somebody that is never going to come through. Okay, you're yearning for somebody that can't make a decision or can't come to you or can't be there for you or can't offer you stability. I'm not saying that that person is never going to be unstuck, okay, because this is their ego speaking. Their soul, their 5D, they want nothing more than to come in and be with you, because they do feel that on the spiritual plane with you. This is your twin. They're fully aware, but they're stuck in some kind of 3D obstacles or situations, and they don't resonate with them anymore, but they don't know how to push or move forward from the situation. I think that God's giving you something else. I think that you are moving on. I think you're still going to work your purpose, your path. Maybe that's changed. Maybe you are going to be with this twin, but they have their own situation. They have free will. They made choices and decisions, and it totally put a blockage, a wall up between the two of you being able to come together in the physical. And you are no longer going to wait for this person to come to you, come forward, talk to you, see about you, whatever. It doesn't matter. If they're not doing that, if they're not showing you any signs in the physical, it's time for you to close this chapter, okay? Because that's the type of Divine Feminine that I'm speaking to right now. You're already almost completed your situation and your mission. What is it that I'm supposed to bring into the life here? Like, what am I creating here? What is my soul mission? You're already there. This is the type of Divine Feminine I'm speaking to. Okay. So if you're not there, then this probably really isn't a message for you. This is for somebody that is already basically there on their soul mission, but this twin energy isn't coming through, or has basically told you recently that they can't or they won't, but they're still hanging on to you, or they can't help it. And that maybe a part of that is for them to heal, right? Like maybe you two do connect spiritually in the 5D, and that's for them to heal, okay? Because they have something that they've got to do on this planet themselves. And maybe they're pushing that away. Maybe that's what they've been doing this whole time, is just pushing that healing away. They don't want to sit with this. They don't want to heal. Maybe they've tried, maybe this is just a really long type of, I think Divine Feminine, you went through a very quick type of ego death process, very quick spiritual awakening. Now, I'm not saying that this masculine hasn't had a situation sort of like that, but I think for some reason their healing journey is just taking a lot longer than yours did. All right, like yours was just like warp speed. And I think, and that's part of it, is because of your soul mission, because you needed to get there, you needed to have this, you needed to do this. This maybe have something to do with the way that you bring income and your money. And for the masculine energy, I believe that it's more of a slower process for them. It just is, because they push a lot more. You are welcoming this. You wanted this healing. Your soul is ready for this. And I think they've just made some decisions that it's not going to fit in the physical right now for the two of you, okay? And you're done with listening to excuses, because a lot of the excuses, I believe, are ego responses, right? And I think that you broke free from that. I believe that you have told them, it's okay, I'm good. I don't need this for my soul growth anymore. I'm good. Like, I'm going to open up myself to a high level soulmate situation, whatever is good for the best for me, my highest good and the highest good of others surrounding me. And this masculine then, I believe, wants to say the same, right? Like, I believe this masculine wants to tell you, I don't need you either. Or maybe they do say that. We're talking spiritual here. You aren't in communication in the 3D space with this masculine. this is spiritually speaking, dream state, that in between, right? There's something about them not saying, they went behind your back in a situation with something, saying something about you. That is what I'm getting for somebody specific. They did something to their divine feminine that's not okay. It's almost like I stabbed you in the back and I'm sorry. And so I believe 3D, you're separated. Like you can't come to, this isn't going to work in the 3D. They fully understand this. They get it. And they are living with regret. All right. They're living with some regret and some remorse here. And it's just it's kind of a situation that it is what it is. And people make choices, right? And I believe that you're being given a new energy. You may be going back to something that you started originally before this twin kind of came in and stirred up some stuff, because I am seeing there's something about your twin that stirred up drama. All right. There's something about this. So I'm sorry, but it's, yes, twins can go up against each other. It happens. Twin flames can. They may have done this before they realized that you were their twin. They know now that you are, right? They know now what you guys are spiritually speaking. They get it. And they're kind of like, hey, what was I thinking? What did I do? Why did I do this? So that's going to be, I believe, completely closed out soon from the soulmate that's coming in. Okay, that is completely separate from the soulmate situation. The soulmate situation, like I said, there is going to be a strong friendship with this soulmate connection. I'm not saying just friends. There is going to be attraction there. There's going to be, but it's a strong communication type of vibe, like friendship. I want to be best friends. Like that is what I'm getting. You may help them unlock some things. You may help them with learning about spirituality. Maybe that's what you're coming into their life for, to awaken them in some way. Something about healing and compassion, friendship. Maybe they introduce you to people. So like I said, if they're not your usual type, keep an open mind. You are going to end up being attracted to this person by the time you go out on your first date and you talk to them. It's like the attraction, and it's just like a flip of a switch. I'm not saying that you're not going to be at all attracted to this person. I think that there will be a pull there. There will definitely be a pull with this person, but it's just not your usual type. Now, there is something heavy about December. So I think that you meet the soulmate very soon if you haven't already. When this person comes into the physical, this situation with this other twin over here, it closes completely, and you no longer meet up in the 5D anymore. You can't. Okay, and this is all part of the divine plan, the divine order. This is something like that. All right, so again, that is what I'm picking up for someone, and I want to close this out now. That is all I'm getting. I hope that resonated. I might come back on here and do a little bit more about this soulmate energy I'm picking up, maybe a little bit more about December. Even though this person, this soulmate, I'm hearing go slow, okay? Divine feminine, I want you to go slow. I'm probably going to do another video about this, though, is that remember that giving yourself, that is like the most sacred thing, is connecting with somebody in that way. Remember that you are a divine feminine, and that we don't want to give ourselves away too soon, okay, to somebody that maybe that connection fades after this, or just to make sure that you're there. You take on another person's energies, especially as a divine feminine, and this can set you back. So you need to remember that. And then I think that's it. So anyways, I hope that resonated. I'll do another video on this too. So I have a bunch of different messages coming out. But if it did, comment below, like, share, subscribe. I'll talk to you later. Bye.